Well, as the working week kicks off on this Tuesday evening, tonight we have the match between Out to Kill and Impervious Esports. The last time these two teams met, it was a very, very close encounter indeed, with O2K just barely scraping through, taking out the match 12-9 in overtime. I personally am hoping for a similar match tonight, hopefully a very, very close one again, perhaps maybe with a different outcome, given that IMP have recently gone on a recruiting spree and recruited two new players in Buck and Bear. So it looks like it will be a very, very close match. Hopefully IMP with their new recruits can provide some sort of resistance to the third place O2K, who have yet to really be challenged from below. They've challenged once against Clutch Gaming of Australia and lost that on Harbour Assault 11-2. But other than that, they've held their third position on the ladder very, very strongly, and hopefully tonight it will be a different story with IMP successfully challenging O2K. We're just waiting for the last O2K member to come in, but as we talk of members, we may as well go through the team rosters for O2K: Imperator, Jihad, Killer, Toxic, and Addy, the last guy who will be coming in. That's a pretty strong lineup, and from what I've seen in recent weeks, Imperator, Jihad, and Addy are the three guys that will mainly carry the team. Toxic is a little bit of a wild card, in my opinion, and I think he actually can play really, really well, or he can play poorly with Killer Maori, the team captain. On the other side of the coin for IMP, No Rambo, Drive-By, Bear, Buck, and Sastad. Buck and Bear, the two new recruits, as I alluded to before, and given their aggressive nature, it would be interesting to see how they play with Sastad and Drive-By, who are the two existing members who are a bit more defensive, but hopefully this map is going to suit the more defensive players, at least on defense, given that this is a defensive-sided map. This map in general, I want to talk you through this for those of you who are not familiar with the map so far. There's two buildings. On your left you can see the assault spawn building, and on your right the defensive building. And obviously the two teams spawning in their respective areas, with defense having 4 entrances to guard with 5 players. So obviously there's a built-in one redundancy there for the defending team, and depending on how aggressive or defensive their team is, they can decide to do a few things. They can be aggressive on defense, and Assault have the capacity to be defensive on Assault. So it will be interesting to see how these two teams play. Like I said, the mix of Rambo, Buck, and Bear contrasted with the defensive nature of Drive-By and Sastad. It's going to be interesting to see how they play. As we see, Swift's the last player for O2K coming in. Addy was unable to make it, I think, after maybe some technical issues, but Swift's adds a little bit more to the O2K side, and when I say a little bit, I mean quite a lot. He is very, very good at his positioning, and tonight, given that he's a defensive player, this could turn the match for the O2K side. IMP, of course, have allowed Swifts to play, and that means that O2K will be the favourites, in my opinion, to take this match out. Jihad can be pretty defensive, and Imperator can also be very defensive. So they have O2K have a great tradition of either being really aggressive or really defensive. So whether or not that happens tonight, we will find out. Two teams are warming up at this stage, and looks like they're almost about to begin the live round. As you can see, we're just waiting, or we're not really waiting, we're just waiting for the teams to ready up and go from there. It'd be interesting for me to see how Sastad and Drive-By play on Assault. For me, those two players are very, very defensive, and we've seen, or at least I've seen in past matches, those two sitting back in the Assault building while the rest of their team go ahead and really take the game on. So I'm not entirely sure whether or not this was the best map to pick. Of course, IMP challenging O2K, so O2K chose the map, and they've chosen Breach. So it's up to the IMP guys to really bring their game tonight. They will most likely, Drive-By and Southstad, I think, will most likely be the anchors, if any at all, tonight for the IMP team, and Toxic and Killer Mary for the attacking team, or the O2K team may be the more, the less capable of the team, in my opinion. We're just going to follow a few players around at this point in time and just see how they're warming up, and I might just talk about their current skill set. I've talked briefly about how aggressive or defensive their team is, or their skill set is, but in regards to how they play individually, Killer Maori has the capacity, I think, to be a great player. He's not a bad player and can be very, very smart sometimes, as he's, I think, struggling to warm up and get some shots on. Swifts has played some competition and has done well in the console arena, being part of the best Battlefield 3 clan on Xbox. So his transition into the PC, I guess, arena is going to be something that will be interesting to watch. Jihad can be very, very defensive or very attacking. Probably the former, if any, as he has great sound, and he will most likely use his sound to his advantage, especially on this map on defense. So the map is about to be loaded. We're about to start, and I'm looking forward to this match, which should and hopefully should be a very, very tight match indeed. So as the teams come in to the server at this point in time, IMP who are assaulting have chosen to defend first, as per the rules of CyberGamer, and actually this is a very, very good position to be in. As you're challenging, you don't get to choose the map, but you get to choose the side in which you start on, and IMP have done the right thing today and have gone on to defense. In my opinion, that's the best place to start for their side on this map. So they've done well. I saw only last hour ago, one SKA taking on the Pacific Gamers, and SKA decided to start on Assault, and that did not work out very, very, very well for them. I will not spoil it, or I actually probably just did, but regardless, teams need to get into the habit of choosing the starting side well, otherwise they will most likely find themselves disadvantaged. This first round will be live as we are starting from now, and we're going to just quickly watch Swifts to see how he's starting up, trying to get an early pick in the western area. Now it's coming out into the into the western side, as already gunfire is heard. Imperator trying to get this pick on this eastern boiler, and we saw this last time with Trooper from SKA when they were playing this match. Very defensive on this northeastern demountable, I guess you can call it, but regardless, they're using this ledge here to steady their fire, and you can just see Bear crawling around, hidden from view, and that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because he's very, very vulnerable to any nades that come through. A very slow start for both teams, as we remember that the rounds are only 2 minutes 30 now, given their given the change in rule set. As Imperator gets the first pick of the match with Bear against Bear, Toxic and one of his mates are looking to rotate around in Jihad, and Jihad on very, very low health, just trying to get that crossfire. Sastad and Drive-By, the two defensive player for IMP, getting Toxic and Imperator, and it's now a 4-on-3 situation as Jihad gets the kill on Drive-By. Jihad unfortunately not reacting to Rambo, as Rambo did really, really well to rotate around, and now it's a 3-on-2 situation to the defending team. You can still defend this defensive corridor, or sorry, not this defensive corridor, the defensive building with 3 players, and you can see Rambo is on the western side watching kind of top and bottom. Buck is watching the boiler, and Sastad is watching the central. Swift's getting the kill on Buck, and now it's a 2-on-2 situation. Killamari getting killed, and now it's 1-on-1. 20 seconds left. And Swift's, all he has to do is just hold his area here. He's obviously going to watch and hear for the noise of footsteps. We try to locate him. There he is. I think Swift's is actually idle. And that's it. And the first round going to IMP as the teams drop out one of their, or the O2K guys drop out one of their players. Again, I think the O2K team not really choosing to pause the match at this point in time. I think they're just going to try and wait for someone to come back in. Imperator is playing very, very defensive. Again, he's going to try and get this. He might be able to get this pick on Drive-By, who's in this area. And in the end, does get him. Now it's a 4-on-4 situation. Well done to Imperator, and only losing 10% health. Bear trying to perhaps retake this or try and trade this frag off, but hasn't really worked. As you can see, Buck just barely visible in that central bottom area. I think Bear's going to try and pick this, and this is not a good idea. As Toxic gets the kill, a double kill indeed, and it's now a 4-on-2 situation as his teammate tries to help him out, but Rambo has done well successfully to take out the 2 guys from the O2K side in the western area. A 2-on-2 situation now as Killer and Imperator, the last 2 left, and he's going to be lucky to survive this one as nades just come out and miss him. Rambo's rotating around, as you can see, maybe trying to get a rotate on the western side, and he should do so very well. This is pretty good positioning, as you can see. Killer Maori just visible for barely a second. Rambo not effective in his positioning, or in his shooting I should say, and now Imperator and Killer now have the chance to react. They've decided to rush the flag, and this is good because it's a 2-on-1 situation in the flag room at this point in time. Killer Maori staying back to give Imperator a hand, and now Imperator's by himself on 20%. He's going to try and push the flag through, or he might wait for Killer Maori, and that's exactly what's happening. Nade, the kill has gone, and Killer Maori in the end just getting neutralized by Bear. So that was very, very close indeed. O2K did well to get the entry frags, first 3 kills of the match, but Rambo was very, very effective, at least initially, to neutralize that western bottom push from Toxic and Swifts, or Toxic I should say, as Swifts has managed to disconnect for a second. Back to a 5-on-5 as Swifts has entered the server again. And again, we see this pattern of a very, very slow start for the O2K side, just trying to get picks early. See Jihad and Imperator both pushing their respective sides on the flank. Imperator getting neutralized straight away by Buck, and it's going to be hard from here. The built-in 1 redundancy also is going to play a factor for the assaulting team. Just trying to get these picks, these long-range picks, and they can sometimes work, but in the end, it's really up to the assaulting team to push and get to the flag. Toxic getting neutralized by Rambo, and now Swift's the last guy left. Faces a very, very big task of taking on 5 IMP guys at, in 1 minute 30 seconds. You can see actually on the left of Swift's screen, you could see one of the IMP guys had rotated around, but in the end, IMP too strong. So, from what I've seen for the first 3 rounds, what O2K have done, they've tried to sit back here and try and get picks, but what's happened is that IMP are a better long-range side given their scopes. Most of the IMP guys use, well, I thought they did. Most of them use ACOGs, and because of that, well, I thought they did. They are pretty good with their long-range picks. O2K are maybe trying to just wait them out, but in my opinion, it's not necessarily the best idea given how good IMP are at long range. So it might be better to engage them short range, but again, they've just decided to hold back a little bit and wait for IMP to push out. And that's not necessarily happening, as IMP very disciplined in their team structure. Swift's getting the first, fragged as the first kill goes to Bear of the round, and they might be pushing this bottom area pretty soon, as Toxic is flashing his teammate in and lucky to survive. Not flashing himself, does well and gets the kill on drive-by, and Jihad similarly on Sastad. It's now a 3-on-2 situation, as Bear with 5% health and Rambo is now on the ground, neutralized. 2-on-1 situation. The flag is gone, and they've coordinated this well, as Bear takes out Toxic. Don't know where he was really looking, Toxic, but in the end, it's a 1-on-1 situation. Bear's only on 5% health. All he needs to be is tagged, and I think he's out of the game. And the round, I should say, will go to Imperator, or the O2K side. Bear needs to push this, as he's taking the fastest route to the extraction, but the most dangerous, and Imperator should be able to hear him actually. Yep. Yeah, so you can hear 2 sets of footsteps here. Jumps out the window, which is interesting. And well done. The first round on assault going to the O2K guys. So they earned that. That was very, very good by Imperator. Just jumping out the window unexpectedly, and Bear not hearing that in the end, leading to a round win on assault for O2K. So O2K being a bit more aggressive in this central bottom area and paid dividends, as well as they managed to grab the flag, breach the flag room, and end up in the in extraction basically. They've gone back to their old ways though, and they're just trying to get picks again. Timbuktu is pushed out into this boiler area behind these 2 boilers. It's a pretty good position, but he's going to rely on his teammate in Bear to try and cover his ass should he have any issues. Bear goes down as I say that, and it's now a 4-on-5 situation. They're just waiting for these frags to happen, O2K, and then when they have enough players, they'll push. But as a result, they risk having players getting picked off, and that's exactly what happened to Jihad. Swiss has breached into the western bottom, and very, very lucky to stay alive. Takes out Sastad, and 4-on-3 situation. 2-on-3 situation, as 2-on-1 situation, as Rambo getting 2 quick kills in succession, and will get this last kill hopefully. Oh, it doesn't. Killer Maori by himself, and he should take this guy out and doesn't. Oh, just really struggling at this point in time. And a 2-on-1 situation with IMP regrouping at this current stage. I think what they've done is they've abandoned the flag room and they're just going to let the timer run out as much as possible and let O2K breach that room and waste precious seconds. But it actually looks like the call's gone out to defend the flag, and Buck has successfully taken out Killer Maori after he got shot through the wall. So at this point in time, Addy has come in for Swifts. Given Swift's technical issues, you might have noticed a little bit of lag on his part, and as such has been subbed out for the match. He may not be able to come back in depending on his technical issues, but Addy, the sub, is now in for him. And again, this changes the chemistry of both teams, given that Addy, I think, less class but more aggressive. So again, it's going to come down to whether or not O2K guys can really work together, get those entry frags, rotate around quickly, and not give IMP a chance to resettle their structure. Smokes are coming out, and this is good utilization of smokes, which we didn't see in the earlier match between SKA and Pack. It looks like they're going to try and stack this western side here as Imperator gets a kill on his drive-by. They're going to stack this western side and central as well. As Killer should get this kill here, does indeed on Sastad, and the rest of his teammates are pushing into this western side. Lots of smokes and nades coming out. As Toxic takes out Rambo in a very crucial kill. And he should be able to see Buck through that wall as well, and he can. Buck can also see him, and luckily gets away basically unscathed. A nade should be coming out, and I wouldn't be surprised if... Whoops. If Bear had a nade. He doesn't. He's going to try and take out Jihad. Buck is rotated around, and this could catch O2K a little bit off guard. Does so indeed as Addy goes down. And now they've basically flanked the O2K side, just rotating back around as the flag has been taken by Toxic. As you can see, Buck has probably deduced that the flag has gone out the eastern area, and Bear is just watching this eastern area. Should get the pick here. Oh, doesn't. He can shoot through that as Buck takes down the flag, and now it's a 2-on-1 situation. Jihad's the last guy left with 30 seconds on the clock. Jihad taking out Buck, and now it's a 1-on-1 situation. Time is not on Jihad's side. The flag is all over the other side of the map. Jihad's just going to have to YOLO this. Oh, will he be able to make it? He will indeed. Oh no, he won't. All he had to do was slide. And in the end, Jihad getting shot in the back. Oh, what a close round. 3 seconds left, and if he had just slid, it would have been all over. Oh, what a close round that was. Generally, as a principle, when extracting the flag, most teams decide to slide in the last few meters to try and put off any accurate shooters, and Jihad didn't do that then and paid the price for that. Nades are coming out, early nades I should say, as it looks like, again, O2K have gone pretty defensive at the start. Toxic getting that first kill, well done. And now the +1 redundancy. Oh, this is going to be bad if drive-by gets picked off as well. But drive-by making the most of that and taking out Toxic. Addy on the western side should be able to take out Rambo, and oh, just a little bit of a late reaction means that Rambo is basically able to escape unscathed. 3-on-4 situation, and you can see that they're going to try and go with a pinch west and east, it looks like, for the O2K side. So looks like they're trying to set up here. Imperator just rotated around to the southern side, the central side. And this is bad for drive-by. Or lucky to survive that, I think. As Addy gets taken out, and now they're left with 2 players on the eastern side only. Lots of smoke coming out. As Imperator's tasked with carrying the Team 6. Well done to Killamari, who turned around as soon as he got shot. They face a tough ask here. 3-on-2. 2 of the IMP team members are on low health as nades are coming out. Buck on the top side by himself, and that's not good positioning from the IMP side. They either should all go top and guard the flag or stay bottom and abandon the flag. And the flags should be taken here. 35 seconds left on the clock. Sastad and Rambo have not moved at all. As you can see, them very, very defensive. They're anticipating that O2K will take the flag, and hopefully from there they'll be able to go and get the flag extraction. Sastad takes a crucial hit onto Imperator, and now it's a 2-on-1 situation. 15 seconds left on the clock. He's going to have to jump out the window and go from there, but Rambo doing well in his positioning, knowing that the time was against O2K, positioned himself well, and in the end, another win to the IMP side. So I think I retract my statement there, at least in part of the positioning of the IMP side. Buck was up the top with Rambo and Sastad down the bottom. I like teams playing as a team and not really leaving anyone behind, but it worked for them that time, and given their superior numbers, I think you can do that. So it looks like the O2K guys have stacked this western side, and they're just pushing aggressively. Toxic getting the first kill, but then getting killed, and Sastad in the end taking out one of the or Addy, I should say, as Nate's coming out. It should be the end for Sastad, as it's basically a trade-off, 2-on-1 situation. Drive-by is the last guy left, watching the flag, and he's in big trouble here. Takes down Killamari, but now Imperator has the flag, and I think he will play it very, very cautious. Oh no, he won't. As you can see the tip of the flag there, and you can get shot through that wood. Drive-by taking out the kill. Well done to him. Getting to the high position ASAP, taking out that kill, and well done to him. So Addy yet to get on the scoreboard for O2K, and that's a bit of a surprise given in recent weeks he's done very, very well in pub. Of course, matches are very different, so he might just be taking his time to adjust. On the other side, Rambo with 10 kills, 4 deaths, Bears with 9-5. And surprisingly, Buck, Sastad and Drive-by not getting too many kills on the defense, as Imperator gets the first kill of the round. And that entry frag, he's always the first guy to get that kill, and it's crucial as he looks like he's just going to push up and try and take IMP off guard, as Addy helps his teammate out in a great support nade, and Imperator doing the damage here. 5-on-1 situation as Jihad takes out the last guy, and that was great work there by Imperator and Addy. Addy fragging that window as Imperator coming up. That's the kind of chemistry that is great to watch, as Addy helped out his teammate, and now he's on the board with 2 kills to 3 deaths. So one round going to the, another round going to the O2K side, with an aggressive push in the eastern area by Imperator, and we might just follow Imperator because he does get that first pick very, very quickly, and I think IMP have been picking that window, but as a result of Imperator's effectiveness, I think he's that IMP have decided to not pick that window. Addy getting another frag on Bear, and that window is down. The run redundancy now comes into play with 4-on-5 situation. And he's just going to try and sneak attack here. As Addy takes down Drive-by. And he takes out Sastad as well. 5-on-2 situation. They should have the flag. Buck is one of the last guys left, I should say, and he's pushing into this western area, taking out one of the guys pushing up from the top, and Imperator takes out Buck in a very, very quick fire round, with O2K getting another kill, another round on Assault. So we watched the last 2 rounds with Addy just getting that crucial frag in, and then just sneak attacking down this bottom central area, just trying to make no noise. As a result, taking out 3 players that round, and Imperator the round before that taking out at least three rounds with his aggressive eastern push up the boiler, with help from Addy's nade into the central window. So it is half time right now, and they've swapped sides, and I think IMP are going to be very, very defensive to start off with. As you can see already, O2K have decided to be aggressive and Toxic on the western side has broken through. Hopefully the IMP guys have communicated that to the teammates, as Toxic looks to be just not doing too much at this point in time. Nades flashes and nades coming out onto the eastern area, and Killamary is going to get shot here. Luckily for him, Bear is unable to make contact, and Imperator with 2 crucial kills coming up into this boiler area. Flyby trying to watch out for Toxic, and he's going to get neutralized here. Oh no, Toxic not making any significant hit there on the pushing IMP, and now it's a 2-on-4 situation. Looks like Addy's struggling to just get out of that area, as Imperator is one of the guys left. Buck has made himself up into this central front area, and this could surprise Killamary if he's not careful. Looks like O2K might actually know or suspect that he's around here, because they're not really moving too much. Wow, as a bit of a wallbang luckily takes out Buck in the end, with Imperator taking him out. It's now 7-4. And this could be a comeback here from the O2K side. We saw O2K very aggressive in that western area straight up from Toxic. And though he didn't make an impact, it did lead to IMP being very limited to the places that they could attack from. So IMP on the right hand side of your screen right now, as we're looking for Toxic, who's going to be pushing out again, and this time gets punished drastically by Drive-By. Drive-By coming around the corner and not wasting too many bullets, shooting Toxic in the face. Now Buck has pushed up and is going to be lucky to survive, as it's a 3-on-5 situation in favour of the IMP team. The rest of the IMP team are pushing up to try and help their teammates, and Rambo is on this eastern side, I should say, he might break through here and gets taken out by Imperator. Well done to Impy, as he has played very, very well so far. 3-on-3 situation. Drive-By trying to push this central area. I don't think this is going to be a good idea, as Addy takes him out. Sastad should take him out in return, and does so. 2-on-2 situation. Killamary and Imperator, the last 2 left, and Buck could hurt O2K if they're not careful. Smoke's coming out central bottom, as Sastad's covering Buck's push into this central bottom area. And he's just going to go Rambo, is he? No, he's not. You can see Sastad pushing up as well. O2K has spread out a little bit to try and diversify the amount of lines, or the different lines that they have, I think. As we can see, a coordinated push by the IMP team, but in the end, O2K doing very, very well, taking out that next round. So at this point in time, Imperator, as I mentioned before, very, very good, and at the moment 16-8. Addy on 9-5 after coming in for Swifts, and this could be another O2K win. They have the majority of their defensive rounds left, and they won 3 on assault before half time. On the other hand, no real anchors for the IMP side. As you can see, they're pretty even across the board, but lacking a real star player at this point in time. Bucky's just trying to get this entry frag into central bottom, and O2K have just left that clear, I think, in an attempt to try and change up their strats a little bit and their structure. Bear getting the first pick on Addy, and now the whole of the bottom area is IMPs, as they look like they're going to try and push up. Some good work here with the flashes and nades going out from both the IMP guys. They've got the flag and rotating around. This is some brilliant work. Great strats by Imperator with crucial picks and frags, I should say. 2-on-3 situation, and the flag is down in favour of O2K, as the last guy left, drive-by, is next to the flag, but it looks like the call has gone out from the O2K guys, and they're going to abandon the flag in an attempt to try and catch the IMP guys off guard as they try to extract the flag. You can see Imperator watching the central side, and Jihad watching that, at that point in time, it was the eastern boiler. And you can see Jihad, beautiful, with a great pick on drive-by, and the scores are getting closer, 7-6 to IMP. So we saw in that last round a beautiful coordinated push by the IMP guys. They've obviously practiced that very well. They pushed 2 guys central bottom, smoked up eastern top boiler, and once they broke through, they just rotated back around through the smoke, through eastern boiler. But unfortunately, the frag of Imperator took out the majority of their players that were pushing onto the flag, as Addy gets taken out by Bear again, and this time Killer Maori does well to trade kills. Now Sastad has traded with him, and it's a 3-on-4 situation. Buck getting a kill on Jihad, 2-on-4. And the flag's going to be taken, but Toxic with some good sound takes out Buck, but Rambo has done well to trade. It's now a 2-on-1 situation. Imperator, last guy left, and he can be very, very dangerous indeed. Be interesting to see where he is. He's missed that the guy is right behind him, and in the end, Sastad taking him out for the scoreline back to 8-6. So IMP with a bit more breathing room at this stage, holding the momentum at least for this point in the match. And IMP, I don't think we'll be too worried, but they need to get a few more rounds defensively on the board to try and bring this back. Like I said, a very even contribution by the IMP side. We have a similar sort of feel for the O2K side, but IMP, the difference between both of those teams, in my opinion. Sastad is pushing to the western side and almost gets neutralized. They're being very, very aggressive, IMP, and I think this might catch the O2K guys off guard, as Buck has pushed up this. They've just decided to push this central bottom area, and it's kind of worked out for them. They've traded kills 3-on-3 now, as the rest of the guys try to get the flag. Drive by, Buck is going to get ball banged through here, and very luckily survives. Rambo is bottom, and Buck is just retreating now at this point in time, as he realizes the rest of his teammates aren't in a good position to help him out. All the O2K guys are on this western side, and I'm not entirely sure whether or not one frag will take all of them out. As again, it looks like IMP being very coordinated. Jihad taking out Buck, and Rambo. Drive-by being taken out by Jihad, who's very, very good defensively. Jihad, he's very, very hard to get past when he's defending. And now it's a 3-on-1 situation. Rambo has 1 minute to make something happen, and Addy you've just seen Addy's head. As smokes are coming out, I think he's just going to try and rush the flag and push through the window, hopefully extracting, making a beeline straight to the extraction. But you can see actually that one of the O2K guys has rotated around to ensure that can't happen. I think they've anticipated that very, very well. Jihad in prime position to take out Rambo, but doesn't do so. Crucial kill, and now Rambo reloading gets caught by Killer Maori. In the end, the next round going to O2K. Well, this is turning into what was predicted as a very, very tight match, and it's coming through with O2K coming back on the defensive side. Like I said before the start of the match, it is a very defensive map, and hopefully what will happen is that O2K will be able to get a few more rounds on the board and win this pretty comfortably in the end. So it looks like IMP have really stepped up the game and starting to be very aggressive, starting to just rush in, or not rush in, but coordinate their pushes. And this has caught Imperator off guard as Buck gets the first kill. Bear has rotated around into the front alley, takes out Jihad. The rest of the guys are following close behind as nades are and smokes, everything's just coming out at once. Rambo is trying to wallbang one of his the enemies, and Addy is going to take out Buck with a live nade in his hand. Drive-by getting the flag. It's 3-on-1. Toxic needs to push very, very quickly, otherwise he'll be caught off guard as the flag is with drive-by at this moment. This looks like it's going to be an extraction to the IMP side to bring it to a 9-7 lead to O2K, to IMP. Toxic still preoccupied with Rambo in the building, and flag gets taken through by drive-by to bring the rounds to 9-7. Jeez, what a great match this has been so far. What IMP are doing, they're being very, very aggressive on this eastern side boiler with Buck, Rambo and Bear, the three most aggressive players on the IMP team, taking care of the eastern enemies and then pushing straight through with smoke support from the rest of the team. So that's their strat at the moment, and I don't think it's going to change. As you can see, three guys culminating in this eastern area at this point in time. Oh, it has changed indeed, and they've actually gone down to a central push, it looks like, as Addy takes out Sastad takes out one of the O2 IMP guys very, very quickly. They're playing a bit slower this time, and Buck, again, his aggressive nature has left O2K a little bit off guard. 4-on-4 situation with two of the IMP guys with 50% health approximately, as Rambo takes the pick on Killer Maori. Jihad should be able to be seen through this wall. And Buck has great sound, taking out Imperator. Whoops, and Buck has now got the flag. It looks like it's going to be a quick extraction. 4-on-2 situation. How are Jihad and Toxic going to react? You can see Jihad just saw the flag and doesn't really make that count as the flag goes in. And now IMP on a match point after playing very, very aggressive after the last few rounds. And this is a great match to watch. IMP need to try and figure out how to address this. Maybe they just need to be a bit more defensive, or maybe just smoke up the whole of the area and place strategic smokes around the flag, and make the IMP guys push through smoke. And once that happens, maybe they can get a few picks very quickly, as Sastat is again trying to wallbang this area and very lucky to survive, as I think Addy was on the other side. Addy takes out the central bottom area, and now he's got his hands full with western bottom and western bottom central unguarded. 4-on-4 as smokes are coming out. It looks like they're going to push this bottom area. Addy's very lucky to not have been seen. He's good positioning. And drive-by getting taken out by Imperator. Imperator getting taken out by Buck. 3-on-3 situation as Addy gets taken out. 5% for Buck, and it's a 3-on-2 situation. All of the IMP guys down the bottom. They looks like they're going to try and rotate around. And you can see Toxic actually in this pushing or rotating around to this western side. Buck is 5% left, and it's going to be hard for him to make an impact unless he can move in unspotted. He's got low health, and his recoil control is going to be very... And Toxic getting the kill. Bear's the last one on a 2-on-1 situation, and doesn't look too good for him. He's only got one flash left, and he's just going to try and Rambo this, I think. he's got 4 bullets in his mag as well. So now the flag has been taken and it's time for O2K to react, and they've done so fairly well, and Toxic in the end getting that last kill. Well, I feel as though IMP have something left up their sleeve. I think they played that round slow to not try and be too predictable, and I think this round or the next round will be an aggressive rush, given how successful it has been in the last few rounds. So you can see 3 guys, Buck, Sastad, Bear and Rambo, all lining up to try and get a prime position for this rush. It looks like they're going to start pretty similar to last time. Buck is pushing into the central bottom, again very aggressive, and it's worked for him in this map. O2K abandoning the bottom floor, as you can see, as Buck takes out Jihad with the first frag. 5-on-4 situation. Buck's not too hurt at this point in time, and Toxic is in a good position to be named actually, as Bear takes out Imperator. 3-on-5, as Bear is coming through, takes out Killer Maori, and the flag has been taken with 2 guys left, 1 guy left on the O2K side. It looks like it's all over here for Addy, as he's trying to work his way through. He's been spotted by Bear, and as a result is in a terrible position as Bear takes the flag. So in the end, IMP doing a beautiful job beating O2K. A great successful challenge from the IMP team, as they added Bear, Buck, and Bear and Buck to their register, and they've performed successfully well in my opinion. Buck with 17 kills to 15 deaths. So in the end, it was out to kill 8. Impervious Esports 11.